Alright, hold on. Broke it. Broke it!
If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal.
What's up, guys? We are doing gear reduction number 2. This one being on my 2020 Pro XP. You saw a split in the case. This video is not going to be an in-depth gear reduction video. We already did that one. I'll have it pop up over here or over here. That one is on Dude's 21 Pro XP, which is same thing. Pretty much running the same setup I'm going to be. It's for 53 in low, 12 in high, 12 in reverse. Some people call it 47 or 49 or 51. There's a lot of different names, but it's I think as low as you can go, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a common one. Yeah. We're using all players' gears. I'll get off to the side here, and I'll have our complete listing of part numbers and what gear it is pop up here, if that's just what you're looking for. As a bit of added insurance, we're running this Cryoheat pinion bearing retainer plate. It's significantly thicker than OEM. In the longer video, the in-depth video on Dude's machine, I kept calling his a Cryoheat. His is Sandcraft. Same idea. The big difference between these, we think the Cryoheat might be a little thicker, right?
Yeah.
And then they also supply you with ARP bolts for the pinion retainer, and the Sandcraft one is just regular Allen head, but they give you new ones. But that's the big difference. The other added one, just like on his machine, we're going to run the Cryoheat high-speed shim. So this eliminates one of the snap rings. So it's all this stuff here is what we're going to be changing. And on the trans itself, it's this little gear.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
This gear, this gear, and then this entire shaft. And that pinion retainer plate is down there, so we do have to pull that then, but that's it. Yeah. On the last video, we failed to record us pulling the gears out, so I'll do it on this video. But basically, starting with your shift barrel, forks, and then it's a matter of pull this little guy out. Pull them out at the same time. It looks a lot more intimidating than it really is. Pull that guy out. If you do it, I said it in Dude's video, take a bunch of pictures, and yeah, it just looks worse than it really is. Dude, did yours come out that easy?
Easy, dude.
And then for this one, we gotta undo the pinion retainer plate, and that's it. So we're starting with an easy one. We remove the bearing gear just to get this plate off. In the Pro XP, I guess it's not too likely to break, but we're doing this just to be sure. There is a significant thickness difference here. So it's just a bit of insurance, but for this shaft, we're just removing it to stick this guy on, and now we put it back together. And just like that, it's done. We got the new pinion retainer plate in, red Loctite, torqued down, ready to roll. So next up, we are going to start disassembling this shaft. This is the low gear side, this is the high gear side. So we gotta empty the shaft because we're replacing it with this one. This is 25 tooth and the one on here is 27. And then we will also be replacing this gear here with this one. But we gotta get everything off first and then build it all up on this shaft.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So we got the new shaft all stacked up. We're at the final step here. And normally you'd be putting this washer and snap ring on, but we are putting the Cryoheat high-speed shim, so this eliminates those two, and that just slides on here, and then we're going to press the bearing on, and then that's done. So with this one complete, we're going to move on to this shaft, and on this one, this is the stage 2 gear. Just got to pop the bearing off and swap this guy out here with this fella. That one's all set. One little bugger left. We're gonna swap this guy out here. So we're gonna pull the bearing, swap it out. Remember, if you're looking for something more detailed, that video is already out. I'll have a link in the description for that video. That one's gonna be in-depth, more in-depth I should say. You know, we do shaft by shaft and we show a lot more. And yeah, if that's what you're looking for, check that out. And we have the new one on, so everything's changed, and we can start putting it back together. Here's all our old stuff, and yeah, I'll throw you the time lapse, and we'll slap this back together.
I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Alright, 2020 Pro XP, gear reduction. We're getting close, just got this side left to do. But before I put the clutches back on, I wanted to show you guys a couple things. So in a previous video, I mentioned that I wanted to do the gear reduction. Got that done. And I also said I want to do a clutch kit. That is something we're not doing quite yet. I got that RPM clutch cover slash brace to add a little strength to the clutch. But before I do any sort of clutch work, I want to see how it is with the gear reduction. See where the RPMs are and see how it feels. It's going to be a big change, so I want to see where we're at first. But today I am going to add a couple things that I would have added anyways when I do a clutch kit. First being the aftermarket Assassin's limiting washer. This just simply stops you from overshifting and helps with belt slippage, which is a problem I've been having. So this one's pretty simple, goes on your primary, and if you've taken it apart, you recognize this piece, and it's basically just replaces this washer. And you can see the difference in thickness. And that's it. You take this one off and you put the aftermarket Assassin's one in its place. So that's something I would have done anyways when I did the clutch kit, but I decided since it's off, I'm gonna add this anyways now. Second thing I'm adding is the Aftermarket Assassins butter washers, like a plastic Teflon-y type deal, and this goes underneath your secondary spring to help with binding. So another thing that I would have done anyways when I did the clutch kit, so I just went ahead and I'm gonna do these now. So if you're not aware, it's gonna go in here underneath the spring. So we're gonna pop this apart and do that right now. It's real simple. This threaded rod and washers is the like tool thing you can get from Aftermarket Assassins. So dude got it when he did his clutch kit, so we're just gonna use it because it makes life easier, but realistically you could make it with threaded rod, some nuts, and some washers. But we're just gonna hold it down, and then we can loosen up these 3 bolts that are T50s. So we use this tool because there's spring pressure on the sheave pushing out on the helix. So we can just slowly release the tension, and then we'll be inside the secondary here. As you can see, there's some tension, so that's why you want to use the tool. So while it was apart, I got everything cleaned up. Next step is simply drop your 2 butter washers down here and reinstall the helix. And that's it. So there we go. It's all seated. All we got left, torque these down to 32 foot-pounds. That's going to be everything we're doing for the clutches. For right now, I'm assuming I am going to need a clutch kit at some point, but for today, that's all we're going to do. So I'm going to get it all back together, and when we can get out and make sure it works, I will catch up with you at that point. And we're back. Gear reduction on my 2020 Pro XP is done. Kind of have it all back together, still working on a few things, but for the most part it's ready to roll. There's a lot of stuff that we do with YouTube, you know, I like to make sure it's gonna work first, but I decided we'll experience this together. So I haven't tested it, I haven't driven it, so I don't know what the new gearing feels like, anything like that, so we'll do it together. The weather's still shit, but it is sunny out, got some snow. We don't have anything cool to drive onto, so I can't really test the gearing, but we're just gonna make sure it works today. So we'll take it around the block, maybe in the yard a little, and yeah, see how it is. So we're gonna start off in low, and just make sure it drives. So low is definitely lower. Again, we're just on the road, so it's not a good test, but I can feel the difference, so I'm liking that. So we're gonna test out high gear now. So low, high, reverse, all work on the road. So now we're gonna do some scientific testing, make sure we put it back together correctly. Seems like it works. Well, alright guys, that's it. It worked. It's our second successful gear reduction now. Super pumped to get these machines out on the trail. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you very much.